we interrupt your regularly scheduled alchemist for your impromptu soul that has two very esteemed guests. So esteemed that I had to have cue cards in order to prepare for this. Mary, I hope you're watching. So joining me at this time, I have titles that include Project Founder, Producer for Quantum Astrophysicists Guild, Developer Lead for companies like 2K and Gearbox, the handsome jack of all trades, it's Chris Laviña!
Hi, how are you doing? I've done a lot.
He has done a lot. And immediately to his left, we have writer, editor, VP of Marketing, certified Pokemon professor, and producer of a little game that we know called Deltarune. It is the Chaos King himself. It is Robert Sephazon Maloney!
Hello. Oh, wow. I need to get a recording of that for every time I have a meeting now.
Fantastic. Yes, put that on your business card going forward. So welcome. Just thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to just be here in Seattle. Like, first of all, what brings you to Seattle?
Well, I mean, I live here.
Oh, okay, so that would help.
Good reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I'm here for a number of meetings that just sort of transpired to be around the same time as PAX West, so I decided, why not take some time to...
Isn't it wonderful how just things just kind of work themselves out? It's almost like being in a similar industry just kind of makes that happen.
Yes. What are the odds of that?
It's, it's. I bet a mathematician could tell us about that. So, as I've mentioned, gentlemen, I have a series of prompts and questions because... I think for guests of such caliber and that have such exponential...
No, not me, dude.
Hold that trophy up high.
Right
we don't humble brag over here. My goodness. But yeah, I think it's just like this is PAX Prime.
Yeah.
This is the 10th anniversary of SOBA proper.
Oh.
And so like the gravity of this to me is like, we can't just wing it. We have to make sure that we are astute and standing upright and perform.
Absolutely.
I first of all, it's just the caliber of things that you have done are envious in a lot of people's careers. So just first of all, just thank you for what you have done for your contribution to games in this industry, and I'm sure there are many people that have observed your careers closely. So just again, thank you for just taking the time to.
Yeah, of course.
I think I have to thank everybody for playing the games. It's without them that we wouldn't be in this position in the first place.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for just playing games in general.
Indeed.
The only reason why I continue working games is to give people smiles.
Exactly.
As well as, work with creatives and get their ideas out there.
Yep, and I come from a customer service and hospitality background, so I definitely understand that we are basically a servant of the industry.
Indeed.
We definitely help people become better versions of themselves, and what better way through an extension like video games? And so, with enough of the pomp and circumstances, let's get to the smart aspect because. If I was to just roll off the top of my dome, my brain would be leaking out of my ears. So I came prepared this time around.
Fantastic.
So in whatever direction we're going to have it, I'm just going to go ahead and ring it from the top here. Tell us your origin story. What started your love for video games, how you got into the industry, and who helped you on your big break, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm going to defer to you.
All
You're
right,
next
so
to
for
by all means.
My love for video games, started when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I grew up, with my brother playing all sorts of games. And I remember one time my cousin lent us the Ocarina of Time, and my brother was playing it, and he just wasn't doing the dungeons, all of them. So I beat the game. I don't care what anyone says. I'm the one that played through every
You heard it here first, folks.
temple, every dungeon.
Right.
He would just pick it up and beat the bosses. That
And
doesn't mean that I'm alive right now, and he knows. He never beat that game. I beat that game.
I hear a little bit of the Godfather. It'd be like, we have an understanding here.
Whose hands had the controller during the end roll credits? That's the question. Okay,
mine.
fantastic.
He handed it back because you had to go back.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. So yes.
That started my infatuation for video games. And when I was in high school, it was a little bit of a dark time, and I just remember turning on my Xbox 360 and the green diode just illuminating my room. Yep. And and I was just like, you know what, this is what I want to do. I want this moment for someone else that's going through a terrible time. And I went to school for game design. I've worked with a bunch of. I was a PAX enforcer.
Oh, wow.
I've worked with a ton of independent developers as well, peripheral companies. When I moved to Seattle, I worked at Tiny Build. I worked at, Quantum Astrophysicists Guild. I was at 2K for a bit.
I still have very fond memories of No Time to Explain.
Yes. Yes. Fantastic title. And, the industry recently has been tough, but, we persist.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you mentioned that because a dear friend of mine, Max Zelensky, who works with Crystal Dynamics, many of his partners have. It's a tough business to build in.
It is. Right. It is. It's a little bit. The COVID bubble did burst. Indeed. There was a lot of hirings and all that other type of stuff, and there's other stuff. But with corporate reshuffling and everything else, I was affected, and it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm still gung ho about working in games.
Sure.
Absolutely. Yes, anyone can go and just be like, you know what, be a project manager at Microsoft, but that's not what I want to do. Right. I want to continue creating, making amazing products. Yep. And bringing them to market.
Right. So I suppose for a bit of my introduction, so I was literally, I guess, virtually born with a Game Boy in my hand. The day I was born, my grandfather, he was out looking. He was like, "Oh no, I got to get something for the kid. He's got to have something." He saw a Game Boy and he saw a newly released game, released the same day as my birth. Kirby Dream Land.
Oh, that explains a lot.
For the Game Boy. And he brought it to me because he thought, oh, it's a cute little marshmallow thing. That seems like a thing for a baby. And he brought it over, gave it to my mother. And obviously I couldn't play it yet. I am sure not for lack of trying, mind you. But growing up, I would say the first thing that, and I don't really understand why, but I wanted to play in high school. I wanted to play Metroid on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, very good.
No idea why. So I studied a bit of assembly, and I ported Metroid into Super Mario World using assembly. In order to do that, I was asking people around. I said, how do I do this? How do I do that? And people were giving me this information. I was posting about it online, and people said, oh, you should continue with more of these interviews. And I said, interviews? I wasn't doing these for interviews, but sure, why not? That continued through a bit of university, and eventually, I started doing interviews with other content creators in 2010 through 2013.
When was university for you?
2010 through 2013.
Okay, so
a degree in history. So we call them from all sorts. And I remember, so I guess the first major person in my journey who I'm going to probably give 3 shout-outs to at this. His name is Maryland. He runs a Pokemon community. And was had a good following back then, and I interviewed him. He was my first audio interview that I ever did, and then I started branching out to more Pokemon-oriented content creators because I grew up with Pokemon Blue myself. And went through all the games, and eventually in about 2014, Pokemon announced a project called Pokemon Symphonic Evolutions. And the executive producer for that, he was going around asking people for, hey, we're trying to do a grassroots thing, do you know anybody who I could talk with about this? And people were saying to him, I'm quoting him here, not from my own perspective, but people would say, oh, you know what? I don't know who could help you with that, but you should go ask Robert. He knows everybody because of the interviews. So eventually he comes to me and says, I was going to ask you for if you knew anybody, but since you seem to be organizing these people already, how about we give you a shot if you want to help do something for maybe grassroots marketing or production-oriented coordinating project. I said, absolutely, I can do that. Yeah, sure, why not?
It's like you've already been doing it, so we might as well pay you for it.
So beyond that, I'd say the third person, and so I worked on a bit of a fan game, a Metroid fan game back in the day called Another Metroid 2 Remake. And
very well esteemed.
Yes,
it's very hard to find.
I worked with Milton Guasi, Dr. M64. He was the director. I was the producer, helping coordinate things. And that was my real first production experience in game development. And then from there, I realized that I really just wanted to help. I'm not an idea guy. I'm going to be honest. It takes a special kind of insanity to want to play Metroid and Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. But I realized that I wanted to support other creators, create these experiences that people love. I understood that I'm more of a coordinating and organizational person. So in order to facilitate that, I started reaching out to indies and I said, hey, look, I just want to help you get this game out the door. What can I do for you?
Yes.
And it's sort of led me, for about a decade now into this current position. And I just want to see, what the next inspirational game is. I just want to support those people. I want to support new experiences.
Probably the 6 most powerful words in nearly any industry. What can I do for you? That is amazing where that will take you. So next on my agenda I have is, we sort of talked on this a little bit. So you've had the privilege, you collectively have had the privilege of shaping many beloved characters and the world that they live in. Tell us about who you most identify with in video games, whether you have directly been involved or not.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I honestly, the one thing that comes to mind, because it's one of my favorite games, and being, you know, a producer of over like 12 years now, is probably Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank.
I can see
he
that.
has, like, you know, the arsenal.
Brilliant.
There's something for everything. And that's kind of how you have to go about, you know, whether it be an indie or AAA or double I or whatever it might be, whatever team it is, you got to be able to whip something out and help them.
It's the arsenal
in the way that they need to be helped.
Yeah, the arsenal and the good nature.
Yes,
absolutely.
It's like if you come across as presentable and humble, people are going to want to work with you.
Right,
So,
right.
What about
For
you?
me, you know, I thought about this over the last year. I have no idea why, but I do know who it would be. It would be from Final Fantasy, just a white mage. I feel as though my job is I'm in support. I'm here to heal the party when necessary.
That's
I'm
lovely.
here to make sure that we can get through that boss battle, get to the other side. I'm not the warrior. I'm not the black mage, you know, summoning, or the summoner trying to summon new content. I'm just here to make sure everybody else is okay.
That is so good. Like, everybody needs support of all kinds, whether it is a tank, whether it is
absolutely.
whether it is a jungler. They're all different times. We already touched on this quite a bit about the gaming industry and your influence with it. So we're gonna kind of skip along a little bit. We're gonna have a sort of a shoot your shot question.
All right.
Is there a dream developer or genre of game that you would like to work on but haven't? Maybe an IP, perhaps.
Right now, because I'm from Miami, Florida,
Yeah.
Vice City is being made again for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yo.
I would kill to be on that development team, but that'll never happen. But no, a dream project is that I would love to work on would probably be Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Not like full stop, dead ass. I remember when we got the first one, we didn't have the memory card.
Yeah.
I beat the entire game in one go. My brother said, "Yo, I want to play," and I'm like, "Yo, I just gotta lock in, man."
Yeah.
And then the power went out because of a hurricane, and thank God I beat it. But I went back when it was on PS3, and I got all the golden guns, and
The
I'll
GTA
probably say
6
Ratchet
though.
and Clank.
Yeah,
Dude.
GTA
Oh my God, that trailer was the best.
I just want to roundhouse kick crocodiles. That's the
know,
one
I mean,
thing I want.
Can you believe that they developed that in the UK? They do such a terrific job of showcasing
Of
American
understanding
culture.
who we are as a country.
Yes, absolutely, in some way.
That is
So funny.
to the T how
Yeah.
Miami is.
Indeed.
And for you.
For myself, likewise, so I've lived in Japan for 8 years, so I've had the immense privilege of being able to work with some of the developers that I've looked up to and collaborate with them, and I'm very honored for that opportunity. For me, it's a bit more difficult, and I guess it feels perhaps like a throwaway answer, but really it is. I just want to work with brilliant creators.
Sure.
You know, there's people at PAX who might have a great idea next year. I want to know them now. I want to be able to know what are they looking to do? How can I support them? Is there anything that I could introduce to them? One thing that I've noticed in the gaming industry, in my experience of doing research into titles, is there's a lot of fantastic game designers out there. They can make a brilliant level. And there's a lot of people with great, unique ideas out there. And introducing those people in order to make something new and a fresh experience, that's what I want to be a part of.
Because it's not a matter of what you know, it's who you know that can get you to where you need to.
For better or worse, that is what I've learned in my experience.
Yes. I will have to talk to you about Project Leviathan after this, because you might know somebody. We all draw from different sources of inspiration, whether it be public figures, places, or other forms of entertainment. Tell us at least one of your influences that helped shape your long-term vision and help you become the person that you are today.
Man, I've no clue. I'm gonna be like 1,000. You know,
There's 1,000 of them. Can you pull one?
There's a ton of people that I've actively looked up to in games. You know, from you have Todd Howard. You know, you have Neil Druckmann.
Oh, wow.
You know, you have Cory Barlog. You have all these amazing creative directors and developers in general that run studios that have made masterpieces and stories and that just that touch you in a way that you know other medias can't.
Right.
And I can't just pinpoint one exact individual that has been like, oh man, I wanna do that. It's kind of just like, you know, just everyone in general.
Sure,
just
not like a singular North Star, but there's many stars.
Because
that
everyone does it differently. And like every studio makes a game differently.
Yeah.
I mean, from my experience, you know, working, like I've worked on a crap ton of stuff. And I've worked with singular developers all the way to like 200 and something.
Yeah.
And everyone is different. You know, some people they just want to be quiet and they make the best stuff. But some people, you know, they're as lively as anyone.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you're the best. You know, so I can't pinpoint anyone.
no, that's totally fair. Sometimes charisma is a selling factor. Sometimes intelligence is a selling factor.
I learned something new from everyone that I work with.
Absolutely.
And that is growth. That is everything.
That's great.
Absolutely.
And for you,
you know, to piggyback off that comment, you know, when I was doing these interviews, if you want to call them that, a great inspiration of mine was Satoru Iwata. So, you know, Iwata-san's Shachokiku, or what is that in English? Iwata Asks. Series of interviews, it showed me, you know, it wasn't just opening up the doors to what was going on behind the scenes. It was showing how much knowledge he had of every facet of game development. Now, here's a secret. I can't paint you a good painting, I can't write you a song, and I cannot program you a boss, but I trust those who can do that, and I will defer to their judgment. I just want to be able to support them to make that and understand what they're doing in the same way that Iwata-san understood, you know, those facets of game development.
Absolutely.
You know, in his heart, he was truly a gamer.
It's a Bob Ross statement, if there ever was one.
Indeed.
That is so good. That is so good. Personally, food was a big part of my family culture growing up. So what are some food recommendations that you have? Family recipes, favorite spots in town where you travel, home hacks with leftovers, et cetera, et cetera?
I mean, being in Seattle for a while now, you know, being first generation Latin American, my father's Cuban, my mother's from Ecuador. You know, I grew up in Miami, which, you know, is a melting pot of a crap ton of food. You know, I haven't been able to find the place up here that gives it, but you know, if you're ever in Miami, you got to go to Versailles or La Carreta. You get yourself a Cuban sandwich, un medianoche, un palomilla. You know, just good Cuban food that'll like warm your soul.
Yeah.
And go to Miami Beach, play some dominoes, get a cigar. You know, that's what I say.
Yes.
Play dominoes and smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
My mother was a savage at cribbage. That's my Italian side.
That's that's us with dominoes.
Yeah, I believe it. And you?
For me, you know, so my father's a patissier, so I grew up with a lot of baked goods, and also he was quite strict in regards to, for example, it's pronounced caramel, not caramel. He'd always get on me. Also, white chocolate is not chocolate, and also American chocolate is not chocolate.
Correct.
So, and also cheesecake.
This upbringing, dude.
Cheesecake is not a cake. Cheesecake is a pie or something like that. We're not going to get too much into that. I had an interesting childhood, to be sure. For me, you know, I'll say something from Tokyo. We have a beautiful thing called gyukatsu. So if you're familiar with tonkatsu, you know, the breaded pork cutlet, you can get that with steak instead. And you fry it yourself on teppan, so the iron skillet. Not quite like the teppanyaki where they have the full board. It has like a small iron thing that you just put it on.
Like a little, localized Korean barbecue. Sort of
it has a fire under it. Right.
Yeah.
And you take that off and you dip it into some sauce with rice. That's brilliant. That's my go-to. Every day I go to Shinjuku, pass through, there's one place in particular that I'm there almost every day like clockwork at 1 p.m.
Oh, that is wonderful. So, like I said, my upbringing was Italian, and so so Thanksgiving was very much a ritual. So you have your traditional Thanksgiving staples, your turkey, your candied yam, and then you have your Italian staples with it, your chicken parm, your lasagna, and so like that. And with my dad, there was never a bad night to like you could have breakfast at any time. So we always made like a big festivity out of it. Hand grate potatoes for homemade hash browns. Yeah, great crackers.
You know what? Is there like food over here somewhere?
There is a little bit. Yeah.
If you don't mind, take me a break real quick.
We have what? Maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Relax. Here's another one. I first heard of the concept of chasing wonder from Adam Savage of formerly of Mythbusters fame.
Yes.
In short, it is following the pursuit in life that stirs up a sense of joy and purpose. That spark that lights up in you, if you will. What drives you in your pursuit of chasing wonder? Your moral compass, if you will.
I mean, I've wanted to make games since I was a kid. And I remember telling people that, and people being like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life." Like that's such a dumb career choice. Yeah, and I kind of just looked at it and being like, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a lawyer. I want to make people smile. I want to make people have amazing experiences. And the thing that drives me is. It isn't the next project. It isn't the next team. It's the next thing that I can fall in love with. Because when I was working on Tiny Tina's and Borderlands, those games I played when I was growing up. Borderlands 1, 2, 3, and getting to experience Tiny Tina's, which is the first addition into a teen-rated game, and then going into the next gen for Borderlands 4, working with those teams there was so much passion, and that just lit a fire in me to want to be better, to want to be amazing, to want to be at their level. I've met some insane people that worked at Gearbox that I look up to immensely. That I can't wait for it to come out in the next month for people to actually see just the passion that went into that and everything.
Because you can feel the heart in the build.
There's so much love, and that's another thing. Is I don't want to work on a team that's just cranking something out. No, there has to be love behind your project. There has to be passion.
Right.
And for you, chasing wonder.
Yeah, so I've actually recently written a thesis. It's psychology and history oriented, but the title of it is "What If a Stop Sign Said Go?" And the idea behind this is if you have sort of the drive and ability to do something that you can do, you sort of owe it to not just yourself, but to society to do it, to pursue it. I have a very good friend who I've spoken with. He has a great opportunity ahead of him to make certain content for a certain company, a good studio that we all look up to. And I told him, I said, you know what? I think not only should you pursue this, for your own goal, but also because I think if you don't, not only are we losing something, but I think the gaming industry loses something. And I think that doesn't just apply to the gaming industry. I think that applies to all aspects of life is if you have the ability to do something, you owe it to both yourself, your past self, and everyone around you in order to pursue it.
That is
1,000%.
So wonderful. That is so
super
wonderful.
Agree.
Yeah, we got talking before this about motivational speakers. Like Mel Robbins talks about the let them theory, and Simon Sinek talking about finding your why. And so that is very much in alignment with that. So I think we have about a minute or so left.
Right.
So
we have about 5 minutes.
I could absolutely talk with you all day. So in as short of a bullet point as possible, if you were to provide one piece of advice to any aspiring developers, what would you share with them?
Don't go into games. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, since he said it, I'll get
dead ass to go off that.
Yeah.
If you want to make games, do it.
Do it. Yeah.
The thing is that just do it.
Just do it.
Don't worry about it. Get a job. Work wherever. Just make your game at night and release it, no matter what.
Right. My general advice is be active in the communities. Go to itch.io, join game jams, participate with the community, be involved and understand others' ideas, and be supportive where you can, and people will support you back.
Support is absolutely important no matter where you go. Gentlemen,
Absolutely.
It has been a privilege and an honor to talk with both of you today and just to impart your knowledge with everybody here today. So thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.